Hello, my name is Taiwo Onyekwuluje, and today I'll be presenting a case study on one of the most significant cyber incidents in the US history, the 2017 Equifax data breach. This breach affected nearly half of the US population and had far reaching consequences not just for the victims but also for how we think about corporate responsibility, data protection, and cybersecurity laws. This presentation will cover a summary of breach, the type of crime, the investigation and legal implications, and finally the key lessons and recommendations for the future. In 2017, Equifax, one of the three major credit reporting agencies, suffered a breach that exposed sensitive personal data of about 147 million Americans, 15 million UK citizens, and 19,000 Canadians. The attackers exploited a known Apache Struts vulnerability that, that Equifax has failed to patch. Despite warning from the Department of Homeland Security as early as March 8, 2017, the company did not apply the necessary fix until July 29 of 2017, by which point hackers had already gained access and exfiltrated data. The breach was disclosed publicly on September 7th of 2017, and in 2020, the US indicted four members of China's People Liberation Army for the attack. The case is significant not just for the scale of the breach, but because it involved highly sensitive data, social security numbers, birth dates, and addresses. This information can't simply be changed like a password. The Equifax breach falls under several categories of cybercrime. It was a data exfiltration attack, identity theft, and potentially cyber espionage. Given the suspected state sponsored actors, the attack maintained access for months, which aligned with advanced persistent threat behavior. Forensics were handled by Mandiant, a cybersecurity firm which found that the attackers had used the Apache Struts flaw to infiltrate Equifax system, moved laterally, and exfiltrated encrypted data. Equifax lacked network segmentation, which allowed the attackers to explore multiple systems freely. Identifying the suspects took years and required a combination of forensics analysis, IP tracing, and malware fingerprinting. This investigation demonstrated how hard it is to attribute cyber attack, especially when the attackers use encryption and proxy server to hide their tracks. From a legal standpoint, the breach revealed weaknesses in how companies handle cybersecurity obligations. Under the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, financial institutions like Equifax are required to implement robust security programs to protect consumer data. Equifax's failure to patch a known vulnerability clearly violated this obligation. Additionally, SEC regulations require publicly traded companies to disclose material cyber risk promptly. Equifax waited over a month to announce the breach, raising compliance concerns. Ethically, the company was criticized for the delayed disclosure and the fact that some executives sold stock before the news went public, even though they claim not to have known about the breach. Their initial offer of free credit monitoring also included forced arbitration, limiting victims' ability to sue, which was seen as self serving. Overall, this incident sparked discussion about corporate responsibility and consumer rights in the digital age. The Equifax breach teaches us several critical lessons. First and foremost, patching vulnerabilities quickly is non negotiable. If Equifax had patched Apache's trust when warned, this breach could have been avoided. Second, companies must improve network segmentation and access control to prevent attackers from moving laterally once inside. Third, From a policy perspective, the US needs stronger data protection laws similar to GDPR in Europe, and clearer mandates for breach notifications. Credit reporting agencies should also be held to the same security standards as banks and other bigger financial institutions. Finally, the breach wasn't just a technical failure, it was an organizational one. Companies need to foster a culture of cybersecurity awareness, accountability, and the transparency to avoid becoming the next case study. Thank you.